Welcome back, painting friends. Today we are going to paint kind of an abstract ocean with a couple of orca whales. Colors you're going to need, well, all the blues and purples you have. I've got dark blue, medium blue, a teal blue, and purple. Black and white for my orca, and then my sky, I'm going to go with maybe some sunrise or sunset colors. So yellow, orange, and pink. I always have my favorite 4 brushes on hand. I've got my 1-inch flat brush, my 10, 6, and 1 round brush. Remember to have a cup of water and a rag for keeping those brushes clean. So let's get started. I'm going to start off with my 1-inch flat brush, and I'm just going to really kind of separate my sky and my ground. So with that 1-inch flat brush, I'm just going to take a gentle wavy blue line. It's going to be my ocean. And everything below that line, I can go ahead and paint in this medium blue color. I can go ahead and wipe and wash that brush off and set that aside for a minute. Next, I'm going to go with my number 10 round brush with some yellow paint, and I'm just going to make my big yellow sun. Nice big yellow sun. Now with that same brush, I can go ahead and take some lines of yellow, and these are going to just kind of be really long, wavy, almost kind of looking like a sunflower, lines of yellow into my sky. And then just around each of these, I'm going to add a small amount of orange. Then all of this outside space in here, I have a kind of a dirty orangish pink brush. But I am just going to paint this entire outside with pink. And then I'm going to add a little bit of white towards my edges so that that pink kind of gets lighter as it exits the sun area. So a little bit of white on the edge, some of that pink and orange. Just kind of let those colors play together. Even if you want to, you can even like hit up some of that yellow and just really make those colors just kind of vibrate out from that sun. Again, I'm going to go in with each of these areas, fill in with some pink, add some white on the edge, and then just kind of blend those colors, let them play a little bit, and make that funky wavy sky. With a clean number 10 round brush, I'm now going to go back in and remake that circle, that center sun that I had. Some of those colors are going to pull into that sun, and you're just going to circle them into the middle. Perfect. We're going to let this dry. When we come back, we're going to add in those waves and those orcas. So we now have a dry background and it's time to add some of our fun waves in. Now, if you want to have yours be more wavy, you can. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my number 10 round brush and I'm going to go in with some dark blue paint. And I'm just going to think to myself, like, where would I want to wave? So I'm going to want one from right here, kind of curving through here. Okay. And this does not have to be a really nice thick solid line. What I meant to say is thick solid line, but it can be. You can go over it a couple times. I find when I'm making curves, it's easier to put my initial curve down and then really go in and start to clean it up. And then I can even take some of these curves and maybe make like a secondary one that goes off this way with them. So just add a couple of really nice curves using your number 10 round brush and some of your dark blue paint. This also kind of helps you clean up any areas near the top of your water. And then kind of like what we did with our sky, I could take my brush, I can wipe some of that paint off. I can grab some teal, I can grab some white, I can grab even some purple or some pink. And I'm just going to start to kind of blend these areas together until I get it where I like it. So I could even grab some of that medium blue that I used for my original background color and add some of that in as well. So I am going to bump myself in a speed motion as I go in with all of these different colors, let them kind of blend and play together and create I'm going to call it a messy water background. Not super neat and organized, just kind of lots of these curves and twirls in there. Ooh, I love that purple going on. But I also don't want to lose these swirl-like shapes. So I want to make sure that I'm not going straight over them. If I want to add to it, I just kind of follow that original curve so that I can continue to fill in this area with these curves. All right, time to jump in speed motion. Let's get added to these swirls. Okay, now that we have our background finished, let's go ahead and add in these whales and some final details. I'm going to use my number 6 round brush with some white paint to start. So I got my white paint on here and I'm going to do 2 orcas. So once you know how to do one, you can absolutely make more. But I'm just going to start right up here by my sun and I'm going to make a gentle line that just barely curves. From there, I'm going to go back up to that top and I'm going to make another one. This is going to kind of come out a little bit more. Almost like it's going to make a D shape. And then we're going to make a bump right here. Okay, so this is essentially the first part of the adult orca, their belly. Right. I can go ahead and take my white paint and I'm going to make another one over here. And this one's going to be smaller, but it's going to be the exact same shape. So I'm going to start right here and I'm going to go down at a small angle. I'm going to go backwards. I'm going to give it its little bump for its fin. Go ahead and wipe that brush off. Grab some black paint. I'm going to go right back up here at the top And now I'm going to go over and then start to drop down a little bit. Following kind of that same curvature. But this line's going to go further down. This is a curved line right here. This is going to be a fin. Then over here, I can add another curved line. Then I could just kind of make a line across. Now, I'm going to say don't paint all of this in white because they have this, I said don't paint it all in black. They have this big white spot right here in the center. So I made that oval there. I can paint everything above that in black. I don't mind if the white mixes in a little bit because we do want some highlights of white. So I put the white on first. Okay, same thing over here. You're going to start at the very top. You're going to kind of come over first and then drop down, leaving that white space open for the eye. And we have our fin right here and a fin right there. And wash that brush off real good. Now, if you could be really careful going in here, you can fill this in with white, but if you don't think you can stay away from that black and mix it in, just wait till it's dry. I'm going to go back in with white and add a second layer of white to the bellies because sometimes that blue will show through. I can wipe that brush off and grab a little bit of teal paint. Just put a little bit of teal paint right where maybe the crease from that orca's head to his belly is going to go. Just a little bit. And maybe even a small amount on the eye as well. Then I'm going to take that light blue and I'm going to add my highlights with light blue on my orca. So the top of his head, the top of his fins, maybe just a little bit down their backs. Wash that brush off. I'm going to take the back of my brush with a little bit of black paint and just put the small black eye dot. Then of course, since they're, popping out of the water, we're going to add just a little bit of wave underneath them. And then I'm also going to take white now that my background's dry, and I'm just going to add some white inside of these swirls that I have. I'm going to do the same thing with my sun. I'm just going to add a couple of waved lines kind of coming out of the sun. Maybe even some just on the edge of that sun too. You know what? I accidentally put a couple of little spots there, but I like it. So now I'm going to turn my brush around and I'm going to actually go in and put polka dots in there. See, when I paint things, sometimes I don't exactly know what I'm doing with it until I start. But now that I have those in there, I'm going to add them to my sky. I like to do dots in sections of odd numbers. So 1, 3, 5. I don't usually go past 5. I can, but I'm a really big number 3 person. So I can even add some of those dots down here to really kind of finish filling this up. And you know what to do. When you're finished, you need to pick a color that's going to show up on your canvas and sign your name. Remember that I never get to see what you're painting at home unless you post it to my Facebook page, Painting with a Purpose. Make sure that you like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Painting with a Purpose, so you're kept up to date on all of the tutorials. And remember, as always, stay kind, stay creative, and stay safe. Have a great day, friends. Bye now.